So murmurs can either be systolic or diastolic. There's only 3 diastolic murmurs in total, and they're the devils. They're non-innocent murmurs. Whereas the systolic murmurs are one of the S in the 10S wala rule is the soft systolic murmurs. They're innocent murmurs. They're not that worrisome because obviously systole mein pehli turbulent flow hai, so if you have a murmur, you pick up a murmur, it's not that big of a deal as it would be if you find a murmur which is there in diastole. Moving on, so diastole or systole ke hum murmurs kis tarah yaad karte hain? There's 7 of these, so it's really simple. So we start with 1, 2, 3 and 4. You had like 3, 4, ek hi baat. So 1 is the MS ka murmur, which is going to be mid diastolic. फिर हमारे पास बाकी 2 आ जाते हैं early diastolic, जिसमें हमारे पास AR और PR होता है, ठीक है. Then जो 4 हैं, these include the ones जो throughout the systole होते हैं, so they're pan-systolic murmurs. You might disagree on the PDA wala, but I've just learned PDA भी इसके अंदर है because that's continuous, like all across systole and diastole. खैर, so PDA थोड़ा सा controversial है, लेकिन मैंने इसी में डाला हुआ है. Then VSD and MR, क्योंकि ये exactly center में आता है, and साथ साथ TR, ठीक है. And then lastly, you have the 3 over here, which include the AS, the PS, because they're systolic and they are going to be early systolic. ये pan-systolic है, ये early systolic है. AS, PS obviously early systole में आने चाहिए. And then you have ASD. ASD का भी थोड़ा सा गपला है. ASD जो है ना, it's an atrial septal defect, which is over here. Lekin the murmur isn't produced because of the blood flowing through the septum defect. The blood flow this murmur occurs when basically extra blood flows through the septal defect, and then there's a volume overload in the right ventricle. So when this volume overload causes a delay in the closing of this pulmonary valve, that's where you get this murmur, ASD ka. So that's why it's going to be a systolic murmur, okay? Right, so ये 1, 2, 3, 4 वाला formula था, and then how do you remember इनकी locations? It's simple, S1 and S2. This is your entire systole, and onwards यहाँ से diastole हो जाएगा. So एक simple सा formula है, ठीक है? This is your heart, and this is the exit of the heart, the exit ventricles. So whenever you're leaving, if the blood's leaving out of the heart के ventricles, तो हम aorta और pulmonary valves की बात कर रहे हैं. So this happens during the systole का event, ठीक है? तो early systole तब होगी जब इन 2 valves की stenosis होंगे. So you have AS and PS. इसी तरह जब systole हो जाएगी और थोड़ा सा regar जाएगा यहाँ से, तो ये early diastole में आएगा, which will be AR and PR, ठीक है? बच गया पीछे pan-systolic, VSD, and to some extent we had an MR. ये क्यों होंगे? Because MR में जब यहाँ पर systole हो रही है, like ventricle is such a powerful muscle, left खासकर, कि वो न सिर्फ बीच में, वो throughout the systole पीछे फेंकेगा blood. So therefore it's going to be a pan-systolic murmur. तो फिर जो mitral stenosis है, वो सिर्फ mid-systolic क्यों है? Sorry, mid-diastolic क्यों है? Because diastole, unlike systole, like throughout यहाँ से blood नहीं गुजर रहा, blood घूम के आ रहा है. There's a continuous column of blood in the body, and the first half of the diastole, it's passing through this area, the atrium, and in the middle of the diastole वो जाके इस valve के through गुजरता है. So that's why you hear it only when it's passing through this valve. That's it.